Now, the next quantum number is spin quantum number. Since we know that the electron moves around the nucleus, okay, so it moves around the nucleus, okay. So while moving around the nucleus, it also rotates about its own axis. Okay, let's suppose this is also an electron and this is moving around the nucleus. So while moving around the nucleus, the electron also rotates about its own axis, either in the clockwise direction, that is this is the clockwise direction, or either they rotate in the anti-clockwise direction. Okay, so this is the clockwise motion of an electron about its own axis, and this is the anti-clockwise motion of an electron about its own axis. So the angular momentum of the electron is not only due to the motion of the electron around the nucleus, but it is also due to the motion of the electron about its own axis. Okay, so the spin quantum number gives or determines the orientation of the spin of the electron. Okay, that is either that whether the electron is rotating about its own axis in the clockwise direction, or the electron is rotating about its own axis in the anti-clockwise direction, and the spin quantum number is represented by ms. So if the electron is rotating in the clockwise direction, then the value of spin quantum number will be taken as plus half, and if the electron is rotating about its own axis in the anti-clockwise direction, then the value of spin quantum number is taken as to be minus half. So just like I have told you about the orbital angular momentum of an electron in the case of azimuthal quantum number, okay, so this comes out to be h upon 2 pi under root L plus 1, where L is the azimuthal quantum number. So in the same way, due to the spin of the electron about its own axis, the electron will also have spin angular momentum. Okay, spin angular momentum, which comes out to be under root s plus 1 into h upon 2 pi. So s can have either two values, plus half or minus half. Okay, and the main thing to remember is that the spin quantum number, that is ms, is independent of all three quantum numbers. Now, after setting the rules for the possible values of quantum numbers, we can calculate the maximum number of electrons that can be added in each shell and subshell in an atom. So for this, there is a guiding principle which is known as Pauli's exclusion principle. So it states that it is not possible for two electrons in an atom or ion to have all the identical quantum numbers. Now, this principle can be easily understood that we have learned that an orbital is specified. Okay, if we have to specify an orbital, then we require three set of quantum numbers, which is principal quantum number, azimuthal quantum number, and the magnetic quantum number. Now, since an electron in an orbital, okay, so electron in an orbital must have the same values of n, l, and m. So an electron in an orbital must have the same value of n principal quantum number, azimuthal quantum number, and magnetic quantum number. Okay, it follows that it can have two values of s, either plus half in the clockwise direction or either minus half in the anti-clockwise direction. In other words, an orbital can have at the most 2 electrons. Okay, so this means an orbital can have at the most 2 electrons. Okay, I have already told you that the maximum number of electron in a single orbital is 2. Okay, so for example, consider K shell, that is n is equal to 1. Okay, now it will have one value of L, okay, which is 0. Okay, because K shell has only one subshell which is S, and the value of S for L comes out to be 0. So if we are considering the K shell where n is equal to 1, so it will have one value of L which is 0, and also it will have one value of M which is also 0. But it can have either of the two values of S, either plus half or minus half. Okay, so the last quantum number, that is the spin quantum number, should always be different in case where the above the three quantum numbers are same. Okay, so this is the Pauli's exclusion principle. So it states that it is not possible for two electrons in an atom or ion to have all the identical quantum number. So this leads to the conclusion that an orbital have maximum of 2 electrons. It may be concluded that the number of subshells in the nth cell is equal to n. Okay, for example, if we are talking about the fourth energy level or the fourth cell, so it will have 4 subshells. Total number of subshell in the fourth cell will also be 4, that is 4s, 4p, 4d and 4f. Now the next one is the number of orbitals in a subshell, okay, is equal to 2l plus 1. Okay, so let's suppose we are talking about the p subshell. So the number of orbitals will be 2l plus 1, and p for and the value of l for p is 1, so 2l plus 1. So this comes out to be 3, since p subshell has 3 orbitals. Okay, now the number of electrons in a subshell, so this comes out to be 2 into 2l plus 1, that is it comes out to be 4l plus 2. So now let's suppose if we are talking about the p subshell, so the number of electrons in this p subshell is equal to 4l plus 2. 4 into l is 1 plus 2. So this comes out to be 6 electron, and p subshell has total of 6 electron and 3 orbitals. Now the number of orbitals in a given shell is equal to n square. Okay, let's suppose for the K shell has n is equal to 1. So the number of orbital is n square, that is 1 square. So K shell has only 1 orbital. Okay, now if we are talking about the L shell, that is n is equal to 2. So the number of orbitals in L shell is equal to 2 square, which is 4 orbitals. And if we are talking about the M shell, that is n is equal to 3. So the number of orbitals is equal to 3 square. So the total number of orbitals in M shell is 9. And if we are talking about the N shell, that is n is equal to 4. So this comes out to be 4 square, and this is 16. So the total number of orbitals in N shell is 16. And in the last, the number of electrons in a given cell is given as 2n square. Okay, so if we are talking about the K shell, that is n is equal to 1, so 2n square, the total number of electron comes out to be 2 into 1 square, which is 2 electron. And if we are talking about the L shell, that is n is equal to 2, so the total number of electrons in L shell comes out to be 2 into 2 square, which comes out to be 8 electron. And if we are talking about the M shell, that is n is equal to 3, so the total number of electron comes out to be 2 into 3 square, this is 18 electron. And if we are talking about the n cell, that is n is equal to 4, so the total number of electron comes out to be 2 into 4 square, that is 32 electron. Now let's solve some questions so that we can have better understanding of quantum numbers. Now the first question is that what subcells are possible in n is equal to 3 energy level. Okay, so the third energy level has how many subcells? Okay, so this is the question. So subcells are S, P, D, F. Okay, since the azimuthal quantum number, so this is part A. Since the azimuthal quantum number, that is L, represents the subshell. Okay, and the value of L is equal to 0 to n minus 1, and here n is 3. Okay, so the L can have values 0 to 3 minus 1, which comes out to be L is equal to 0 to 2. That is L is equal to 0, 1, 2. So the total possible subcells in the third energy level are 3, 0, 1 and 2. And L is equal to 0 for S subshell, L is equal to 1 for P subshell, and L is equal to 2 for D subshell. Hence, the subcells which are possible in the third energy level are S, P and D. Now, the next part is how many orbitals of all kinds. Okay, so how many orbitals of all kinds are possible in this level, that is third energy level. So I have already given you the formula that total number of orbitals in a given shell or a given energy level, okay, is equal to n square. So here we are talking about the third energy level, that is n is equal to 3. So this comes out to be 3 square. So this is 9. So total 9 orbitals of all kind are possible in this third energy level cell. Okay, since S will have 1 orbital, P will have 3 orbital, and D will have 5 orbital. So 5 plus 3 plus 1, this comes out to be 9, and by formula we also get the 9 orbitals. Okay, now the next question is that give all possible values of L, Ml and Ms, okay, for the electrons when it is in third energy level. Okay, so the question is asking for the values of azimuthal quantum number, magnetic quantum number and the spin quantum numbers for the electron which is present in the third energy level. Okay, so the azimuthal quantum number L is equal to 0 to n minus 1. So here in this case n will be 3. So L comes out to be 0 to 3 minus 1, 0 to 2. So this comes out to be 0, 1 and 2. So L can have 3 values. Okay, so L can have 3 values 0, 1 and 2. So in the first case, let's suppose L is having 0 value. Okay, the value of L is 0. Then the value of Ml comes out to be, since it is minus L to plus L, so L is 0, so Ml also comes out to be 0. Now when the value of L we take 1, so the value of Ml is equal to minus L to plus L, that is minus 1 to plus 1, minus 1, 0 and plus 1. Now if we take the value of L is equal to 2, then Ml comes out to be minus 2 to plus 2. Okay, so this comes out to be minus 2, minus 1, 0, plus 1 and plus 2. And the value of Ms, that is the magnetic spin quantum number, is plus minus half for each value of Ml. Okay, now The next question is that how many electrons in a given atom can have the following quantum numbers. Now the first case is when n is equal to 3 and L is equal to 1. So when the L is equal to 1, so this means since L is equal to 0 for S, L is equal to 1 for P, and L is equal to 2 for D, and L is equal to 3 for F. So and the L is 1 for P. So it is talking about the 3p. Okay, since P has 3 orbitals. Okay, and each single orbital can hold up to maximum of 2 electrons. So the total number of electron in this 3p will be 6 electron. Or I have also told you the formula that the total number of electron in an orbital is given as 4l plus 2. So this comes out to be 4 into 1 for p plus 2, so this comes out to be 6 electron. Okay, now the second part is when n is equal to 3, L is equal to 2 and ml is equal to 0. So L is equal to 2 for D, so it is talking about the 3D. Since D subshell will have 5 orbital. Okay, and the value of ml is given as 0 since ml is equal to minus L 2 plus L. Okay, and the value of L is 2, so minus 2 2 plus 2, so it comes out to be minus 2 minus 1 0 plus 1 and plus 2. So this is minus 2 minus 1 0 1 and 2. So here ml is given as 0, so this is talking about this orbital. Okay, so when n is equal to 3 and L is equal to 2, that is we are talking about the 3D, and ml is equal to 0. So this is the single orbital and every single orbital can hold up to maximum of 2 electrons. So the total number of electron in this case will comes out to be 2 electron. Now the third part is that when n is equal to 3, L is equal to 2, ml is equal to plus half and ms is equal to plus half, then in this case we have to find out the total number of electrons. Okay, since L is equal to 2 is for D subshell, so it comes out to be 3D. Now since ml is equal to plus 2, so the D subshell will have 5 orbital. Okay, minus 2 minus 1 0 plus 1 plus 2. So it is talking about this orbital. Okay, so in this case also it is talking about the single orbital just like in the previous one, but here this also here the question also specify or mention that the value of spin quantum number is plus half. Now it only allows 1 electron in it, so it only allows only 1 electron. Since the ms is plus half, that is it specifies that the electron is in clockwise direction. Now in the last part, when n is equal to 3, then how many electron is present in this third energy level? Okay, so I have already given you the formula that the total number of electron in any energy level or shell is given as 2n square. So here n is equal to 3, so 2 into 3 square, which comes out to be 2 into 9, this is 18 electron. Okay, so this is the third energy level will have the total number of electron will be 18. Now the next question is that write all the quantum numbers for the 8th electron of fluorine atom. Since the atomic number of fluorine is 9 and the electronic configuration for fluorine atom is 1s2, 2s2 and 2p5. Okay, so this is the electronic configuration for fluorine atom. Now the question asks for all the quantum numbers for the 8th electron of fluorine atom. Since the last electron or 8th electron 2 to 4 and the 8th electron is present in this. So n will be, the principal quantum number is 2 and the azimuthal quantum number is, since it is p and L represent the subshell and here the subshell is p, so the value of L for p is 1, okay, for p subshell. So the value of L comes out to be 1. Now moving on to the magnetic quantum number. Since the value of magnetic quantum number is given as minus L to plus L, so it can have values minus 1 to plus 1 or minus 1 0 plus 1. Since the p subshell has 3 values of m, since the magnetic quantum number determines the orbital, so it can have 3 orbitals. Okay, we are talking about the 2p. So this is minus 1, this is 0, this is plus 1. Now the question asks for the 8th electron. So up to here 2s2, the 4 electrons completed. Okay, now in the p subshell we have to fill the 5 more electron. Okay, so it will be filled according to the Hund's rule. So up to here it will be 4, then 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9. Okay, so this is the 8th electron. Okay, so this is the 8th electron which we are talking about. Okay, now since the 8th electron is present in this minus 1 orbital, okay, so out of these 3 values the ml will have only minus 1 value for the 8th electron of the fluorine atom, because the 8th electron is present in this minus 1 orbital. Okay, and the value of spin quantum number is, since the 8th electron is having the spin anti-clockwise and the anti-clockwise will have minus half. Now the next question is that which of the following orbitals are possible. We have given 1p, 2s, 2p and 3f. Okay, now let's check this 1p. Since the value of n is equal to 1 in this case and L is equal to, L is also 1, since the value of L for p is equal to 1. Now if n is equal to 1 is given, then the value of L according to this should be 0 to n minus 1, which is L is equal to 0 to n is equal to 1, so which is 1 minus 1, so L comes out to be 0. So when n is equal to 1, then the value of L should be 0, that is it should be S subshell, and here it is given the p subshell, so it is wrong. So this orbital does not exist. Now if we are talking about the 3f, okay, 3f, here n is equal to 3, so if we talk about the azimuthal quantum number or the subshell, 0 to n minus 1, so L is equal to 0 to 2, so that is 0, 1 and 2. So the value of L 0 for S and the value of L will be 1 for P and the 2 value of L is for D. So for a third energy level, the all possible subshells are S, P and D. Okay, so here with the third energy level F subshell is given, so this orbital also does not exist. Okay, and the 2s and 2p do exist. Okay, you can check by on your own. So this is all about the quantum numbers. Hope you like the video. Thank you.